Sixth grade lesson 5.1 is modeling percents. We're getting into learning about what percents are. You've seen percents out in your world, 5% off or 10% off or 15% off sales at the stores. So now you'll have an idea of what they mean by that. So let's go ahead and get into this lesson a little bit. Let's talk about the word percent. Per means out of or for every. And cent, you know the root of the word cent, like you know how many cents make a dollar is 100, or how many years are in a century is 100. So cent means 100. So when we're talking about per cent, we're talking about out of or for every 100. And you could write that as a ratio to 100. So let's say I had 30%. What I'm really trying to say is 30 for every 100, and I can write that as that ratio. Let's take a look at the first investigate information in our book. So they talk about these little smart cars or electric cars here, so let's read about it. Not many people drive electric cars today, but one expert estimates that by 2025, 35% of all cars will be powered by electricity. Let's circle that percent. What they're saying there is 35% of all cars. That really means 35 out of 100 cars will be powered by electricity. So for every 100 cars, 35 of them would be powered by electricity is what they're expecting in 2025. A percent is a ratio or a rate that compares a number to 100. Percent means per 100, and the symbol for percent is this little guy there. They want us to model 35% on the 10 by 10 grid. 10 by 10, remember 10 times 10 is 100, so we know there's 100 there. Then tell what the percent represents. The large square represents the whole, or 100%, all of it. Each small square represents 1%, 1 out of 100. One little square is 1 out of 100. Well, 35% is 35 out of 100. And they want us to write 35% as a ratio comparing to 100, 35 out of 100. And so 35% is the same as 35 out of 100. And we'll go ahead and color that in. Let's color 10, 20, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 35%. I could have done it that way. I could have gone side to side too. You guys are familiar enough with these grids now. I think that you would have been okay. 10, 20, 30, 5. I didn't even really have to go orderly if I didn't want to. It's 35 out of 100. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, on and on until I had 35 there. But for your brain's sake, you might want to keep it kind of in order. 35, 20, 30, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 35 out of 100. So what they're saying is by the year 2025, 35 out of every 100 cars may be powered by electricity. They ask us then to model 52% on a 10 by 10 grid, but hello, they didn't give me a 10 by 10 grid. I think they hoped that you'd have one where you could just move blocks around on. I guess you could do that in the digital tools that I have marked that I have saved, or find digital tools, find a digital 10 by 10 grid where you can manipulate those around. I'm going to add some 10 by 10 grids to my page. You could do that too. You guys are tech savvy. You could figure out a way to do that to your book if you wanted to. Okay, so I've added some 10 by 10 grids. They want me to model 52% on a 10 by 10 grid. There is my 10 by 10 grid. This is 52 per every 100. 52 out of 100 squares is a ratio of 52 per 100. So I'll just go ahead and highlight 52, 10, 20, 30, 40, 52. And there I have modeled 52%. 52% is 52 out of 100. So that's the goal they're wanting for you on this lesson, is that you recognize that your brain can recognize what the percentages mean. It's out of 100. Model 18% on a 10 by 10 grid. Okay. That is 18 out of every 100. Squares is 18 out of 100. That is 18% is 18 out of 100. Let's go ahead. There's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And there it is modeled. 18 out of 100. And hopefully you're taking a look at 18% is a lot less than 52%. 52% is a little bit more than half. 50% is exactly half. So those sorts of things, hopefully your brain is going to start making connections to. They also ask us to model what 1/4 on a 10 by 10 grid would look like. 1/4 of 100 basically, because a 10 by 10 grid, 10 times 10 is 100. So we're doing 1/4 of 100. Mathematically, that looks like 1/4 of 100, or we know that of now means multiply, so 1/4 of 100 over 1. And we can multiply that, but let's see how it looks on here. Fractions mean, the denominator of the fraction means I'm dividing it into that many equal pieces. So I'm going to take this whole 100 grid and divide it into 4 equal pieces. I think I'll go this way and that way. Seems to make the most logical sense for my brain. So that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal pieces. That's what the denominator stands for. And I'm going to shade in one of those 4 equal pieces. Let's just do this whole one here. One of the 4 is shaded in. That's what that fraction means, 1 out of 4. How many boxes is that? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So 25 is 1/4 of a grid. Taking it another step, this is 25 out of 100 squares, right? So 1/4 is the same as 25 out of 100 squares, equivalent fractions there. And also we just learned that 25 out of 100 is 25%. 25 out of 100. So just something to make note of. They also challenged us on something else. 2 more things I'll show you. So on one of the questions, they asked us to find 0.5%. Also keep in mind, just for your brain's sake, 0.5 is like 5 in the 10th place. That's 5 dimes. We can put a 0 here if that makes your brain happy. 0.50 or 50 cents, right? 50 cents is how much out of $1? It is half a dollar, right? So pretty soon, if it hasn't already, your brain is going to be able to jump back and forth, recognizing 0.5 is exactly the same thing as 1/2. 5 dimes. 5 in the 10th place, 5 dimes, 50 cents. 50 cents is half a dollar. 0.5 is 1/2. So let's write this as the ratio to 100. It's going to be 0.5 out of 100. 0.5 out of 100. And if it makes it easier to look at it this way, remember 0.5 is 1/2. I am going to color in 1/2 of a box out of the 100 boxes. So there it is. 1/2 of one box out of 100. That's hardly any. 0.5% is really hardly anything out of that 100, right? If there were 100 people, it'd be half a person. That's kind of messy. I don't like the half a person idea. It's messy. All right, let's take a look at one other thing they threw at us. They asked us to find 180, or to model, I'm sorry, not find, but model 181%. Okay, no problem, because I think I've got the hang of this now. This is 181 out of 100, because percent means out of 100, and I'm going to go ahead and shade in my 181. So there's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. What? I don't have enough. Yes, you're right. We need to fix that. So I give myself another 100 grid. I've shaded in 100 already. Now that's 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 1. There is 181%. percent. Now, anytime you have this numerator over 100 out of the percent higher, this number is higher than this one, then you're going to have more than 100 grids. It's more than all, I guess. Usually you don't see something more than 100% because 100% would mean all of the box. 100% is all of it. So when you hear people say, oh yeah, totally, 100%, they're saying, yeah, all the way, all of it. 100% is all of the 100 that are there. So anytime somebody goes above 100%, then they're really exaggerating something out because it's more than is available. So 181% is more than the 100 that's available. You need another grid. You'll hear people say like, oh, 2,000%, I'm with you on that, right? They're really exaggerating, saying more than everything, I'm with you. So 100% is out of 100 is what this lesson wants you to understand. Weird circumstances like this would mean if I have more than 100 here, then I'm going to need another grid. It's more than everything. So more than all that's available because only 100 were available. And the last thing they talk about in this lesson is just making this connection. The table is showing meteorites. Meg has a meteorite collection, which is cool, I guess. Shade the grid to show the ratio, comparing number of each type to the total number, and then write the ratio as a percent. A percent is a ratio that compares a number to, what number goes there? Yes, you're right, 100. Okay, so for iron, here is iron. She has 21 out of 100 for the meteorite collection. We're going to shade in 21. That is 21 out of 100, also known as 21%. They want us to do that with a stone. You probably can do that without me now. Stone is 76 stones out of 100 total. By the way, what they're saying is she has a total of 100 in her rock collection. That's why we're using out of 100. She has a total of, or her meteorite collection, I should say. Meteorite collection. All right, and then I will shade in 76, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 76 out of 100 meteorites in her meteorite collection. So 76% of her meteorite collection is stone. And a combo of stony iron is 3 out of the 100 meteorites that she has. That is 3 out of 100 because she has 100 total in her collection. We're going to shade in 3 out of 100. Hardly any, right? 3 out of 100 is 3%. At this stage, I'm hoping, and I would imagine you're probably feeling pretty confident on this, although if you're not, please don't hesitate to let me know. And go ahead and give the Share and Show and problem-solving applications a try and see how you do. Good luck.